Good morning, my dear class 9 English version students. Today we are going to start our very important chapter. The chapter name is the chapter 2, the cells and tissues of organisms. It's also a large chapter. Here's the two categories. One is the cell and second structure is the tissue. What's the meaning of cell? Cell is the formation and also the foundation of any body structure, and tissue is the formation. It's not a formation. When the cell's structure is added one by one, the another structure is the tissue. It's also the basic concept of cell and tissue. Now, my dear students, today our new topic, cells and tissues of organisms. Please everyone open the books and the chapter 2. Again, it's also large chapter. Now, you have already learned the concept of biological cell in your previous classes. Is it not? We have also drawn the class 6, class 7 cell structure, plant cell, animal cell, and the differences between the cell, plant cell and also the animal cells. Plant cells have also plastic and animal cells no any plastids, so they can't take food, their own food, the produce food. My dear students, now see the books. You have already learned the concept of biological cell in your previous classes. Now, based on those ideas, you will learn more about it. Do the views of a cell of an organism appear the same under both a light microscope and an electron microscope? We have also the 16 the compound microscope in your schools. So when the offline classes also going to, then we have also practiced about the microscope. Now in this chapter you will find the answers to this kind of questions. Now, first structure, living cell. Living cell. You learned in your previous classes that the cell is a structural unit of an organism. So, what is cell? Cell is a structural unit of an organism. What is a living cell? Some scientists describe a living cell as the unit of structure and biological function of an organism. Again, living cell as the unit of structure and biological function of an organism. In 1969, scientists Louis and the CKBs described a cell surrounded by a selectively permeable membrane as the unit of living activity which can exactly duplicate itself without any different living medium. So, my dear students, please note this. Here's the what is the cell? Loy and CKBs give also a standard hypothesis. The hypothesis is, again I will also repeat, it's the describe a cell surrounded by a selectively permeable membrane as the unit of living activity which can exactly duplicate itself without any different living medium. Now, the types of cells. My dear students, here are the types of cells. We have also drawn this structure is the types of cells. Here they are the types of cells. First structure is the prokaryotic cells and second structure is the eukaryotic cell. Here's the eukaryotic cell. They have again the two categories. One is the somatic cell and another structure is the gametic cell. Now, the types of cells. All living cells are not the same. Just as they have differences in structure, they also have differences in size, shape and function. On the basis of the organization of the nucleus, cells can be divided into two types. Again, one is the prokaryotic and another is the eukaryotic cell. Now, the prokaryotic cell. That means it's also the old, is it? Again, the prokaryotic cell, a prokaryotic cells does not contain a true nucleus. So, prokaryotic Karyotic means nucleus, and the matured and also developed nucleus, they have no any developed nucleus. This is why it is called a cell with a primitive type of nucleus. The term of nucleotide fits nicely in this case. Nuclear materials in a prokaryotic cell are not surrounded by a nuclear membrane. So, another example where we have just drawn the nucleus and the cell structure and also the prokaryotic cell structure, they have no any surrounded structure about the nucleus. So, here's the nuclear membrane. Though the cell organelles such as mitochondria, plastids, endoplasmic reticulum, etc. are not found in a prokaryotic cell, only ribosomes are present in it. The chromosomal structure of a prokaryotic cell consists only of unwrapped DNA. Example, blue-green algae and bacteria are constituted of this type of cell. Again, the eukaryotic cell. In this type of cell, the nucleus is well structured, meaning that nuclear materials are well organized and surrounded by a nuclear membrane. Other cell organelles along with ribosome are present. Chromosomes consist of DNA, histone, protein and other components. Most living cells are of this type. So, we can also understand what's the difference between the prokaryotic cell and also the eukaryotic cell. Yes, the prokaryotic cell, they have no any developed the nuclear membrane and they have no any organelles. Here's the organelles as an example: mitochondria, plastids, endoplasmic reticulum, etc. But they have only ribosomes. The eukaryotic cell, all these cell organelles also have. Now, the eukaryotic cell on the basis of functions, here's the basis on the functions. There are two types of cells. First structure is the somatic cells. Here's the somatic cells. It's also develop our body structure, and the gametic cell, they can also develop the sexual structure. Now, the somatic cells and also the gametic cell. What's the difference between the somatic cell and the gametic cell? This type of cell takes part in the composition of the body of an organism. Somatic cells divide through the process of binary fission and the mitotic division. So, we can also know the another rules. Here's the somatic cell, they have also the mitosis, cell division, or another structure is the binary fission. Yes, the binary means the two structure. When one structure can divide it into two structure, the another name is the binary. Binary means two. Now, organisms grow in this way. Moreover, these cells take part in the organization of different organs and organ systems. Now, another structure is the gametic cell. Gametic cells are produced in the organisms in which sexual reproduction and alternation of generations occur. Primordial germ cells divide through mitotic and also the meiotic. Pronunciation is the meiotic division and the produce gamete cells. Yes, the gamete cells, they have only one chromosome, and somatic cells, they have also the two chromosomes. Now, in a gametic cell, the number of chromosomes becomes half of its somatic type. A new living body commenced after the fusion of male and female gametes. Zygote is the first cell produced after the union of male and female gametic cells. Zygotic undergoes repeated mitotic division of organize a body of an organisms. So, my dear students, our first topics, it is the types of cells. We can also learn that the types of cells, they have the prokaryotic cells and the eukaryotic cells. The prokaryotic cells, they have no any other category, but the eukaryotic cells, they have also the somatic cells and the gametic cells. Now, our next topic is 2.2. Main organelles of plant and animal cells and in their functions. So our next topic is the lesson 2.1. Here's the 2.1, our first structure. When we have just draw a cell structure, outer layer is also the plasma lemma. When the plant cells, they have another outer structure. Here's the outer structure is the cell wall. And the protoplasm, here's the jelly-shaped structure is the protoplasm. And when they have also the cytoplasm, they have two structures. One is the membrane-bound cytoplasmic organelles and the second is the non-membranous cytoplasmic organelles. The membrane-bound, when they have the another structure of outer membrane, the another name is the membrane-bound cytoplasmic organelles. When they have no any membrane-bound structure, the another name is the non-membranous cytoplasmic organelles. And the last structure, yes, the cell, the last structure, 6 number structure is the nucleus. Now, my dear students, we have also know explain about the main organelles of plant and animal cells and their functions. All higher plants and animals are eukaryotic. Each cell consists of many organelles, although most of the organelles are found in both plant and animals. There are some organelles found only in plants or in animals. Now, you will have some ideas about cell wall, some cell organelles which can be seen by the electron microscope. Here we have also two electron microscopic structure. Here first structure is the plant cell structure and second structure is the animal cells. Yes, the plant cell structure, they have also the ultra and unique structure, the plastids or the chloroplast, but the animal cell structure, they have no any plastids or the chloroplast. Now, first structure is the cell wall. Here's the cell wall. Animal cell, they have no any cell wall, but the plant cell and also bacteria and fungi, the three category in this wall, they have also cell wall. Now, today I just explain only one structure. Here's the cell wall. First is the cell wall, second is the protoplasm, third is the plasma lemma. Yes, the membrane-bound cell cytoplasmic organelles. My dear students, yes, the membrane-bound cytoplasmic organelles, they have one structure is the mitochondria. Please everyone underline the page number 21. First structure is the mitochondria. Second structure is the plastid and the third is the Golgi body. 4 is the endoplasmic reticulum. 5 is the cell vacuole. 6 is the lysosome. So these 6 cell organelles, they are also the membrane-bound cytoplasmic organelles. When the non-membranous cytoplasmic organelles, they have first is the cytoskeleton. Second is the ribosome and third is the centrosome. They are non-membranous cytoplasmic organelles. Now, my dear students, today I just see only one cell organelle, cell wall. Cell wall is a unique feature of a plant cell. It is composed of inert materials. There is no cell wall in animal cell. The chemical composition of a cell wall is complex. Here's the complex. First structure is the cellulose, second is the hemicellulose, lignin, pectin, suberin are the chemical components of a plant cell wall. Again, cellulose, hemicellulose, lignin, pectin, suberin are the chemical components of a plant cell wall. A bacterial cell wall is composed of protein, lipid and polysaccharide. Please everyone underline the bacteria components, the bacterial cell wall is composed of protein, lipid and the polysaccharide. Third structure, a fungal cell wall is made up of the chitin. The primary cell wall is single layered. The secondary cell wall is gradually developed through the completion and the compilation. Here's the compilation of different chemical substances secreted from protoplasm on the middle lamella. At the time of the development of the secondary cell wall, cavities are formed called pits. These pits give a cell its the rigidity. The cell wall retains the shape and size of a cell. Plasmodesmata, here's the plasmodesmata, showing the connection of two cells. Here's the first cell, this structure, and second cell is this structure. When they have the thin shape structure and the connect with the one cell to another cell, the another word is the plasmodesmata. Please everyone underline the plasmodesmata. Plasmodesmata are found in the cell wall to exchange materials with adjacent cells. The cell controls the movement of water and the minerals. Our next structure is the protoplasm. Here is the protoplasm. The translucent, semi-fluid, viscous substance are constitutes the interior matter of a living cell is the protoplasm. Everything surrounded by the cell wall is protoplasm. Even plasma is a part of its protoplasm, also contains cytoplasmic organelles and the nucleus. My dear students, today I have just only selected our introduced topics. Here the introduced topics is the cells and tissues of organisms. So that's all my dear students. Goodbye.